Well, hello there. My name's Susan Hamilton. You're watching OffBeat Business TV or listening to the OBBM network on iTunes, Roku, or Fire TV. Today, I'm talking with Parimala Deshpande with Tejas-Media.
Yes. Hi, Susan.
You're listening to the OffBeat Business Show, rebuilding American business influence locally, nationally, and abroad, bringing you experienced insight for a strong, influential brand and successful life in business. Here's your host, Susan Hamilton.
She's done the Hustle Girl. Have you heard of the Hustle Girl? I'm so excited to have you here today to help us understand a little bit about the journey that you've been in business and how you've decided to serve the community. Because as I understand it, Parimala, you've been here for 10 years.
That's right, yeah. Thank you so much, Susan, for having me on your show. Yes, I'm very excited about my Hustle Girl show. You know, the title itself says, the Hustle Girl. It's an hustle. A hustle especially for someone, who moved from country to another country. It's not easy. And then talk about starting a business is definitely way too difficult unless you are prepared or, you put that 100% to make that passion become the reality or, the dream that you wanted to live. So I think my journey is similar. I think, I relate the Hustle Girl to my journey. And then I wanted to help women out there who have moved to another country. I mean, I would say to this country because that's where I live. And then I have met people from different cultures, different backgrounds moving here. And then when I heard their stories, some of them needed an inspiration and they needed an awareness. Some of them, they were living with a doubt about, can I do this? Is this for me? Am I allowed to do it? So I was like, okay, you know what? Bring out those stories, who have successfully done things, and then start help out those people who are capable of doing it, but they needed a little push.
Well, I think it's exciting because what we realize here in the United States of America and what you've been able to experience over the years is we get out and network, we meet each other, and we, especially here in the DFW area, we're pretty aggressive about it. We want to know each other, we want to shake hands, we want to build that cultural diversity, and we recognize how we can do that when we know each other.
Right.
But I'm not the type of woman, I just don't think that I would ever go to another nation and decide to raise my family, start a business, and then go straight into media. Yeah. I think that would be horrifying, and I don't know. So I have to commend you of your bravery and just your willingness to do that and your willingness to see what those challenges are in the community because you've done it yourself. Yes. And you've done it boldly. So you set such a great example in the marketplace for doing that. We talked the other night, you were telling me about it's not necessarily common. One of the reasons that self-esteem might be a problem in this area, not like it wouldn't be for anyone, right? Anyone doing anything new is going to be scary.
Yes.
But specifically with the Indian culture, it's very bold if you're working outside of the home. Do I understand that correctly?
Well, I mean, it used to be that way, but there are always women who want to break all the barriers, and then they are setting the example. And then, seeing those women succeed, being, a homemaker and being a professional, I think, there's definitely a lot of movement happening and people really want to go out there and then try out their best and then, live the dream that they always have dreamt of. There's been always a conception about, oh, you know what, you are a homemaker, you are supposed to be home and then, cook and then be with your children, take care of everyone. It used to be, but I don't think it is anymore the same case. People are changing and then everybody is happy, because I go out, I'm a businesswoman or I work, that doesn't mean I'm not being fair with my family. I do love my family. I'm sure everybody loves their family. They want to do things for their family, but end of the day, it comes to who you are, what you want to be. And then, Hustle Girl is a show where that's what I was focusing on. You don't have to sacrifice your passion, your dreams, or your interest that you want it to be. Just come out, live that dream, learn things and then be happy. Right?
Well, you say it so simply, but I think one of the reasons that you can convey that so
Yes.
well and so simply is you are a mother of 2 small children.
Right.
Tell our audience just how old your kids are and what does a typical day look like for Parimala?
Okay, it's crazy, but it ends with a lot of fun and love. So I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. I have 2 boys. They are adorable. They actually teach me a lot. I think they are the inspiration for me to do whatever I am doing today. Unless I realized I'm not able to get out of the house, I would not have done this. They made me kind of, stay home. They challenged me. And at some point I was like, what am I doing? Am I losing everything that, I have done over the past, and then what I have learned, and then what I'm passionate about? And then, I started to figure out something where, I live with them, I stay with them, I play with them, and I still do what I wanted to do. So, I thank to my children, actually. They kind of pushed me, to a level where, I was like, okay, what else? What else?
Yeah, you have that kind of mind. You want to know what else, what else.
Yes.
And I love that about you because as we were talking, a lot of my research went into, okay, what is the demographic of women working, especially in the United States and in Texas. And in Texas, the last I looked a couple of years ago, we had 35% black women, we had 14 to 18% Hispanic women, and the other, right? And everything's an other because there's so many different nationalities. But when we're looking at how we communicate in our networks, we have a strong desire to cross-promote each other's networks.
Oh, yes.
Get the communities together talking. There's several times that myself have gone into another networking and I was the only white woman there, and I wonder, where are the other white women?
Right.
And you were talking about and noticing some of those same things in the networking within the Indian culture.
I think so. In the Indian culture, you wanted. Okay.
Yes. Well, right here in America, that what you're noticing, because people tend to be around people they're comfortable with.
That's right. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah, I think, I was doing that too. Initially when I started, for no reason, I started assuming, what, I feel safe or comfortable with, people who look like me or, who speak the same language or, who are on the same boat like me, who came here, who lived here. And then at some point I was like, okay, there is still something missing. I don't have to limit it. If I have to learn about something, it can be from anybody or, whatever is available out there. And then I started actually attending many networking events. And then, initially there was a glitch about, okay, do I know everything? Is my language okay? Can people understand me? And then, do I know their culture? So, there were doubts initially, but you know what? I mean, I wanted to do it. And then, because I decided to do it, I learned it over the course. I still learn every time, I meet a person like you. There is so much learning and then teaching when, you start meeting new people. So, I definitely recommend go to networking events. Do not miss a chance when you think, you can go out there, meet a person, learn something. You should do it.
And get out of your comfort zone. Meet someone you don't know. Meet someone from another culture.
Yes.
Find out what you don't know, because I think if we don't, the danger is allowing ourselves to be led around by the nose with media that likes us to be divided.
Yes.
And we don't want to be divided.
No.
We want to know that we are working together and say we're grocery shopping together.
Yeah.
Right? Our kids are
yes.
going to school together.
Yeah.
And if we don't set a better example, what do we have for them to, and they're going to be sitting at the same city council together.
Yes,
right?
I think so. Yeah, that's going to happen probably one day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at some point we've got to go, okay, we've got to set that example. We're going to have to break out of our comfort zone.
Right.
And I loved what you were saying about all of those times when you had to rise to a challenge and go, I'm going to do it because I want to do it.
Yes.
You kind of came to a spot, which I think is what makes you such a great business coach.
Oh, thank you.
Is because you came to a spot where you said, look, I can sit here and wonder if I'm ever going to achieve my dreams.
Yes.
Or I can say, I'm going to have to get out there. I'm going to have to try something different. I'm going to have to go in a new direction. And I know that going into media, there's some daunting aspects of it. That's one of the reasons that we came on board for the local family business communities, to take all the big scary out of it and make it much easier to do. And here you are out there not only using your voice and helping other people understand that journey and be bold like you did and setting that example, but even helping them express themselves. They're speaking. They're having to learn how to speak better. Right? And if I understand right, you deal with every nationality. You don't have any particular focus. You're just women focused. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yeah, because I think, for a woman, I mean, for any human, but, because I'm a woman, I have that soft heart. And then I see, you get married, you have children, and then, in between you are also career oriented, and then somewhere I relate very well, to a woman, and then, to her story. You can easily ask her, oh, when did you get married? And then how many children do you have? Okay, do you go to work? If you don't go to work, okay, what perks do you guys? So I think I related very well to a woman, and then that's why the whole idea of Hustle Girl came in, because I wanted to hear other stories. A lot of times, Susan, it inspires me. All those stories inspires me to do more and more, because, there is still something that, I probably don't know. I have not done it. And then one of this woman entrepreneur that I interview has done it. So it's a learning for me as well.
That's what you were saying the other night when we were talking. You were telling me that with everyone having something to offer, that you feel a sense of urgency and concern for the people that are sitting home and not getting out because the rest of the community is missing your gold.
Yeah, I see a lot of people. What I want to tell people who are out there, who wanted, everybody live with that passion or desire to do something. You have to go out, explore what is out there for you. If you don't know, there are a lot of organizations or, event like yours, like the show like yours, right? I mean, people can go and then learn about so many options that are out there. What are the businesses there? And then, what are the colleges? And then what are the courses? And then try to list down the things that you have done and then try to match and then conclude and then get help. There are a lot of people, believe me, like you said, even talking to a stranger, you come home learning something new about that person or, about something that is common between you both. So you need to go out and then start learning more or start exploring more and then meet people for sure. I'm a people's person. I love meeting people. I have learned a lot from meeting people. So I would say, yes, just go out, don't sit at home, don't think this is it, right? This is not it.
Are you enjoying this conversation with Parimala as much as I am? You're watching OffBeat Business TV. We're going to hear from a few of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
The American business economy is positioned as it has never been before. Professional videography is a core element for attracting a higher level of engagement with the people group you need for significant impact. Now is your time to shine. My name is Bill Brock, owner of White Rock Films, and I invite you to a powerful opportunity in the marketplace, an opportunity to draw excited people to your events, an opportunity to showcase your ideas on infrastructure, an opportunity to become known as the industry authority and enjoy the associated benefits of a strong, influential brand. Video highlights, video teaches. Video puts a resistant market at ease, and video stirs the hearts and imaginations of your allies and strategic client base. White Rock Films offers full audio, video production for businesses ready to embrace the future, handling your project with professionalism, experience, and polish unheard of in the industry. My name is Bill Brock, and White Rock Films wants your business. See us online at whiterockfilms.com.
Hi, I'm the Yes Lady with Charla A, powered by Zeal Wellness. Zeal is my nutrition beverage of choice. It is 14,000 milligrams of superfood nutrition in a powdered formula that you can just shake it and take it out the door, grab and go, have energy, vitality, reduce your stress, some incredible health benefits. It's incredibly cost effective, and it is going to change your life. I'd love for you to join me. Go to charla.zealforlife.com, charla.zealforlife.com. Join me in being healthy, focused, full of energy, tastes great. Zeal for Life.
And we're back. My name is Susan Hamilton. You're watching OffBeat Business TV. You're listening to the OBBM Network podcast, and I'm talking with Parimala Deshpande from Tejas-Media, talking about her Hustle Girl podcast and how she's inspiring communities to get up, go meet people, learn what you don't know, take those bold steps, and get your voice out there. Because what your gold is just really a dangerous place if you don't share it.
That's right.
The rest of the world, we need you, we need you, we need you. Parimala, but that's not all you're doing, because you've really learned how to take on a world stage with your voice for several different reasons. Tell our audience a little bit about the responsibility you've taken in media as you embark on your shows. You've got one for children.
That's right. Yeah, I produce another show called Listen to a Story. It is in one of the Indian languages. It's called Keli Rondu Kathaya. It says listen to a story. So again, thanks to my children, because I somewhere felt there was a disconnect in their childhood versus what I learned, and then how it helped me growing up with family and with my grandparents. I always learned my morals or things through a story, and that was easy for me to understand. For example, if somebody says, hey, you don't lie, I keep saying that to my kids a lot of time, don't hurt anyone, it can hurt anybody, or don't do this. But how about, I bring two characters, tell them it in form of a story, and then I see the magic. They were able to understand. They started remembering the characters. They're like, oh, you know what? He got hurt because of, him. So I felt, there was a need, and also especially for children growing up, Susan, in another country, especially like, my children, I speak another language at home, and then they speak English, when they're out. Somewhere I wanted them to at least understand the language that I speak, because, we have family back home.
Sure.
Not everybody can understand and speak, the language that, these guys are growing up. So I was like, okay, how do I make them understand, and then start hearing it more and more? And then I started producing these stories. All our stories come with a moral, and then we have narrators, we have storytellers. It's a team of 12 people, where we make it more interesting with different voices and sound effects.
Fun!
Yes. So my kids started enjoying it, and then they never wanted to have a phone again. They're like, no, hey, play the story. So every time we are on a long drive, I keep playing my stories in the car. My kids don't watch iPad or phone. And then I was like, okay,
Can I just high-five you on that? Can I just high-five you on that? Do you know how many people you just inspired? How many mothers you just inspired because you told us that? Because we need to see that.
I was there once.
Right? We think that they have to have that device, and it's so dangerous for them. When in fact, your voice, that soothing voice, telling them a story, telling them a moral, And how creative to bring all the different voices and characters.
Yes, yeah. When
to
you
do
talk about
that.
a lion, there is a lion roar that comes in.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so, and I think, making stories interesting was kind of helping the kids to start using their imagination. With the visual media, there is a limited choice for you to imagine because you're already seeing the characters on the screen.
That's
but
true.
when you listen, you start imagining, and then, we try to also educate the community about, podcasting, and then why, you should be limited user of visual media versus, more active listening. It can help the, young children at the early stage. And then I try to bring, experts from like a pediatrician or a speech therapist once in a while to kind of create that awareness in how listening helps in young children. So that is another podcast. And then we have like listeners all over the world. We have listeners from Australia, Canada, New Zealand.
Well, clearly, you're teaching them something that very few people are doing. What a
Yes.
great approach to it, and
Yes.
I just herald that. And yes, very excited that you're taking that step, and excited that you really want to help our legal immigrants, because we were talking also how easy it is for us if we're just listening to media, we're getting the phrase legal immigrant and illegal alien confused, and we're messing that up.
Yes.
And so a lot of times so I just appreciate us talking about that for a minute, because I think we can do a better job of representing ourselves
Sure, yes.
through independent media.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We get to take our voice back, and I think you're empowering women through the Indian culture, but you're, like you said, you're not limited to that. Tell us about, you had another client.
A friend, Barcelona.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
From Barcelona.
I have another friend from Barcelona, and then she holds a PhD. She in I think physics or mathematics. And then we became friends at the school campus, and then I think she didn't made any friends till that time. And I'm like a people's person. I can't just be alone. If I see a person next to me, I try to talk to them. And then I started talking to her, and then I saw she was nervous. She was nervous because of her language. She couldn't speak English. And then she started, but I gave her time. I said, I totally understand. That's how I was when I came
Right.
here. Though I spoke English,
Yeah.
it was still hard for me to understand initially. And I was like, it's okay. And then we exchanged a couple of words, and then I understood that, she was looking for a job, a teacher job.
My goodness. My goodness. I speak one language, and it makes me, I've tried to learn other languages. I can understand some counting. Well, we've, Spanish or just some of the things that we're familiar with here, but that doesn't come easy for me. It doesn't. It's so, and I can't imagine doing that and then coming. I just love that about you. I just love that you want us to communicate well, and that what you've identified is the inability to do that. Makes you secluded and isolated.
Yes,
and that's depressing. That's discouraging. And especially if you're maybe leaving a negative culture, how do you? And you're coming to America, you're not going to really get to enjoy anything better if you don't learn how to get out of that.
Right. Yeah. Totally. And then, she wanted to go out, and then she wanted to work. I think, she worked as a teacher back in Barcelona, and then she couldn't work here. One was because of her language. And then the other one was, again, the comfort zone. She didn't know if she can really do that. And then, she took up a part-time job. And then, I remember telling her that, what, you are a teacher. There is no language. If you know math, that is your language. You don't need a language to teach math. If you know your concept, that's what kids want to learn. They're not looking at your English or anything. And then she did a part-time job. And then I heard from her that now she's taking up a full-time teacher job. I'm so happy for her.
Yes.
So, that's a story, right? We all can inspire. I mean, she inspired somebody today who think, they cannot speak English and then they have to sit home. But,
Well, you've inspired so many people today on OffBeat Business TV, and I'm excited about that. Would you just tell our audience how they can reach you? And especially, they're going to want to have a coach that gets that. That just is a special niche that you offer. Tell our audience how to find you.
Well, I mean, you can find me on Tejas.media.net, I have a Facebook page. Follow me on my Facebook page. I will be definitely very happy to help anybody out there. And then, I started helping the businesses also understand why podcasting, why media, how it can help businesses. And then I see there is a big gap when it comes to, using podcasting as branding. It can help a lot of people. When people know how much you know, what you know, they come looking for you because you are the person who knows about it. So I started helping small businesses or professionals to come up with their own podcasting. I help them with the hosting services. Whatever I think I can help them to be successful, I will be very happy to do that.
Now, if you are driving down the road and you don't have a pen and you just got all that information, know that OffBeat Business Media is going to give you all the links and all the contact information, so you're going to be able to reach Parimala and work with her in all the different ways that she offers. And I think that's so exciting. Until next time, friends, you've been watching OffBeat Business TV. My name is Susan Hamilton, or listening to the OBBM Network podcast. Next time.
You've been listening to the OffBeat Business Show. Find our lineup, podcast, magazine, event calendar, and sponsor information, even our membership directory, all available on the OffBeat Business app or at offbeatbusiness.com. Download the OffBeat Business app today.